Yay, I'm alive. Hi, guys. What's up? What you doing? Hi. No, okay. So I'm completely like today, as you can see, I have no hair in my outfit, and my hair, and my makeup, nothing. Yes. We can talk about your school stuff later. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about relationship bullshit today. And to help me remember what I'm going to talk about, I am going to. Oh, yeah, see? Made this stair leaf. Interesting. Interesting that today I pop it up while I'm looking to talk about stuff. Okay, so relationships in general are crap. No one wants them. No, I'm just kidding. Ships in general versus what? Like the unnormal? Versus the unnormal or the past is what I'm going to write down. Why am I writing it down while I'm talking to you guys? Because I need to know what I'm talking about because I get kind of stupid. I get kind of ditzy and brain loss. Or past. Okay, so then I'm also going to write down a bunch of names from my past so that I can kind of explain more in depth what's going on. Okay, so first name, Eric. Second name, Richard. Third name, we're going to go Travis. Anyone who knows me knows exactly who I'm talking about. After Travis, there was Jesse. Then after Jesse, there was, why is this so hard? I'm only writing down like the main people. Here, let me move that baby. She has some space to lay down now. Big names in my past, in my relationship, Romeo, are the ones I'm going to be bringing up when I talk about this stuff. So we've got Eric, which I never was in a relationship with him, but we'll get to that. Richard, Travis, Jesse, and after him, I did some random dating in high school. Isaac was one of the good ones, which I almost spaced on because it's been so long since I've been in the same relationship with the same damn person. Okay, then I'm going to say moved on to Ben, and then there's Jeremy, and then Jeremy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of people. Okay. I'm also going to make a list of friends because relationships aren't just man and woman or, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever like language you're talking there. It's also the relationships you make with people other than love, like friendships and family relationships and things like that. Those also happen. So I have quite a few of those that, not quite a few, but I have a few of those that have stories behind them. So obviously, Richard was my first friend, which he's already over in the boy section. So it goes Brittany. I'm leaving Janice out of this because we weren't friends very long. Okay. And then there was Shannon. Then there was Melissa, Amanda, and Rebecca, which I just call her Becca, but those are the women who have made big impacts in my life one way or another. Okay. So we have 3 more men than we do women. I don't have a lot of women in my life, I guess. I haven't made big friendships with anyone else. I don't make a lot of big friendships. I kind of feel like the ones that you make growing up are kind of like the most important. And so ones you make after that, it's not that they're not important. It's just that they're new. You don't have a trust base yet. You don't have the past. You know what I mean? Like you don't have something tangible to look back at or hold on to that gives you the idea of who this person is. Because the biggest issue we have in all relationships is trust. Trust is a huge issue. Okay. So, the way my relationships have worked in my life, this is like a counseling session for me, guys, because I seriously came in here not knowing what to talk. I didn't want to do makeup today. I don't want to talk about how fat I am. Like, yeah. I'm working away from that for today. Okay, so the relationships, general issues. Let's see. We'll talk about our boys first. All right. So Eric. Eric is not someone I dated. However, he plays a big part in my past because he is the first man to ever do anything to me sexually. He was my babysitter's oldest son, and he took advantage of the fact that I was a young 6 year old trying to get attention, and he sexually molested me. Uh, I did not want to go back after that. I did tell my parents about it, and it is what caused us. I believe it's what caused us to move out here to Arizona originally when I was little because, like I said, I was only 6. We ended up living with my aunt for like almost like a year while my parents tried to work out their relationship and decide if they were staying together or not. In the end, they decided they couldn't live without us kids all together, so they decided to work the relationship out, which they stayed together um, the whole time. So they're together for like what, 32, 35 to 36 years, something like that. They were together. Um, and my dad just passed away a couple months ago. So I guess I'm new to not having 2 parents, which I know a lot of people aren't. But yeah, so Eric was this negative thing in my life. Now, Richard kind of goes into Eric a little bit. Um, I knew him since he was born. I'm almost a year older than him. But I've known him like my entire life. I had the biggest crush on him. He was my like first real kiss. I married him in kindergarten. There's yeah, I spent the night at his house, wore his clothes, we held hands, walked together. I could totally see us being in a relationship had I stayed in New York. But I didn't, and therefore it was just a friendship. When we moved out here to Arizona for a little while, the family didn't really work out too well that great out here. So we ended up moving back to New York, which in that point we had lived with Richard and his mom. And I can still remember their house exactly. Um, but I still had that huge crush on him, which he had no idea, I'm pretty sure. And um, we ended up getting our own trailer to live into, so we weren't living in their house anymore. And yeah, it was just this big, huge thing where I was finally starting to crush and feel okay, crush. And he's just a boy trying to live his life and thinks I'm just some crazy, like, probably clingy girl. I also wasn't known as like the prettiest or most popular girl in school, as you can tell. I kind of have one of those get accustomed to faces. Um, but yeah, so after that, we had moved, my family had moved back to Arizona. And then I dated this guy named Travis. Now, Travis, I can't say is because he has apologized since, but was a jackass, like a royal jackass. Like, I had a dream the other day about this conversation we had, and it's still to this day, I feel like I didn't say enough. I didn't do enough. I didn't stand strong enough for myself. So, who Travis is he was this guy that I went to school with. He was was it a grade or two? A grade above me. My friend Melissa, that I'll talk about, she was dating his brother on and off. And he was a very, very popular person, according to my mental history of what I can remember. He was very popular, very important. couldn't be seen with the wrong kind of person, and I was, of course, the wrong kind of person. So, we dated, but he didn't want anybody to know that we were dating at school. So it'd be like we didn't talk or do anything at school, and then when we got home, we could talk on the phone and talk about relationships and how school was or whatever. We got to the point where we started meeting up at school before it started so that we could like talk, hang out, the cuddles, the make out, all that stuff. Um, but anytime anybody found out we were dating or questioned him about it, he would get really, really mad and he would deny it. Um, I felt really, really unworthy at that point because it's like, why am I not good enough to be your girlfriend? Why are you so afraid of other people knowing or finding out? And it broke me really bad. And then um, I went to go be with him, my first time of giving myself to someone. Um, and afterwards, he he let me go. But then once we talked on the phone afterwards, he told me, I hate this. He told me that by being with me, dating with me, or sleeping with me, or whatever, he got drugs and alcohol and money and stuff like that as payment because it was all a joke. It was all some big prank. It was just this big, huge thing, and I was the butt of it. So that really, really hurt me, and I went on kind of a no one gives a shit about me spree after that. That summer, there was this thing called the Loop, and it was like a phone chat room, and I got on there, and I think like every couple of nights I'd go meet someone new just to feel something. And I kind of got this feeling across from me that only what everyone wanted because of what I had, experienced was my body. They just wanted my body, so that's what I was going to give them. I wanted love and attention, so if the only way I could get that was by giving up person, and that's what I was going to do. And I did, and I regret it a lot. Very stupid. During this time, I was also very suicidal, and stuff was going on, which leads us into Jesse. So Jesse, oh God, I had such great things to say about this guy. Um, he was tall and bubbly and sweet and goofy, and he would travel like what is that, 15, 20 miles to come see me on the weekends. We clicked so well. We were engaged. He was my everything. I even like at one point carved his name into my arm. Um, when we broke up because I was that obsessed. It was bad. I was a very obsessive child because I'd never received any really love. And Jesse was the first person to show me true love. I ran away several times to be with him and everything. And yet it wasn't enough for me. Because I cheated on him with his cousin actually. One time, but it's the fact that it happened, the fact that I did it, which was wrong. Very, very wrong. And so I have already apologized for that, but Jesse, in case you're watching, I am sorry for what I had done. Um, we dated for a long time, actually. I want to say 2 years on and off, 3 years on and off. And he is a great guy, but over the last 3 years, I ran into him about 3 years ago, yeah. And we had this long talk about him, his wife, his kids, all this stuff. And I found out some information that just didn't quite click or make sense to me. And so therefore, I kind of cut him off completely. I just decided that whatever it was that he was getting himself into was not something that I could fathom being a part of. I was bigger and better than that. And I needed to walk away from it because there was no way I wanted to get myself locked into that. But overall, he was a great guy. So he has that on the board. Okay. Let's see. Isaac. Wow. Isaac was it sophomore year or yeah, sophomore year of high school. Jesse and I had finally stopped seeing each other. It was coming up on, I think we had broken up right before the winter formal dance, and there was this guy, Isaac, and he was, oh God, he was such a sweetheart, so cute, so sweet. Um, he wrote this poem for me. We had exchanged numbers. We started dating. But of course, I like to ruin everything, and I caught feelings for his cousin. What is up with me and family members? I do not know. Let's see. I caught feelings for his cousin Russell, and that was that was never going to happen. But he made me feel like at first it was. But that's before he met me. Um, so I got myself whirled up with that kind of situation. But in the end, I ended up um, Isaac and I ended up parting ways because um, something happened between me and someone else, and I'm not saying it was completely against my will, but it wasn't necessarily something I wanted. Either way, I didn't want to come across like that to my boyfriend or to cause any issues at school, so I just said that it happened and that we needed to break up or whatever. Um, and I pushed him into seeing a girl he had had a crush on for a very, very long time. And they ended up dating, and I think it was great at first, but then ended up being a total disaster. And I feel so bad for what I did. So, Isaac, if you are watching this, I am sorry for the way I treated you when we were in high school, and I should have done you better. But he was a very sweet, sweet guy. Oh my God, he could write. He could write. His family could write. His sister wrote some really good stuff too. Let's see. Okay, Ben. Ben. Okay, so Ben is my ex stalker. Um, my friends Becca and Brittany, and I were riding home on the bus one day, and this kid, I guess he just thought I was attractive or something. I'm not sure, but he just kept talking. He wouldn't stop talking, and he should have gotten off the bus at 51st Avenue from where we were going. We were going to get off there at 55th, but the dude was still on the bus, and I was like, "Oh, I want to get off by myself. Like, he's creepy. He won't stop talking to us. He won't, like, you know what I mean?" It wasn't that he wasn't cute. He was cute, but it just seemed, you know, too much too fast. But yeah. So he kind of gave us a creep vibe. Anyways, we get off the bus at 59th for my friend Becca because she was going to school at GCC, and we're hanging out at Jack in the Box. Of course, they got off the bus too. They went to Jack in the Box too. They sat with us. All this stuff is going down. My friend Brittany is making fun of me. I hate her for it. Um, Becca had to leave. We had to get going, so we kind of parted ways. But I got the number, or he got my number. I can't remember which way it went. And phone calls started happening. And so we kind of fell into this relationship. And I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, he makes a really mean chicken sandwich. But our relationship just didn't work for me. We did get engaged. We were going to get married. I think he actually did buy the wedding dress, or he said he did, that I was going to wear when I came back from the vacation that I never came back from. Um, by the way, Ben, for that, I am sorry. As you can see, I am apologizing for a lot in here. And things were done to me, but I'm the one apologizing, so that's okay. I apologize because in the end, I led you on. In the end, I couldn't just straight tell you that I was sorry, that I was done, that it was over. Just like many other men in my life, I couldn't speak the right words. I couldn't act the right way. I couldn't see the right screen, if you will. And like, I am sorry about that. Like, I'm sorry that I did that to you, that I did you wrong like that. I know we met up a couple times and you were still good to go. You still really cared about me. You still really liked me. Still wanted to try to work things out. But it had already been over a year, and I had already been with someone else, and I still wasn't over them. And it just wasn't good timing. That, and no offense to you, but the things you were into, like Insane Clown Posse and being a juggalo and all black all the time, and what was it, swim, something, Adult Swim or something like that on TV. Yeah. I just That's not my thing. So, I mean, we just didn't have a lot of the same things in common, so when we hung out, I felt really annoyed and bored. So, I do apologize for that, and I mean, I guess I should have figured some stuff out and told you about it, and so I'm sorry. We got 2 more men to talk about here. Okay. So we have Jeremy Jeremy and Jeremy. Jeremy is my ex, and I call him Jeremy because it's Jermey, and then Jeremy, my husband. Jeremy, oh my god, so weird. Okay. He and I got engaged. We lived together for a long time. I was actually I'm surprised I didn't write Danielle down there. Um I had a friend named Danielle, and I hated her because she reminded me of another friend I had named Melissa, and just we were so alike in so many ways that it clashed, and it made it I became a royal bitch after things that had happened to me. So we'll get to that when we get to the friend section. We'll write Danny over here, and I'll explain that. But either way, so she was dating this guy named Jeremy, whatever. And I didn't like the way she was treating him. I didn't like how she just kind of how do I put it? Okay, so she always acted like she was better than him, that he was just there for financial reasons or for her to get away from her family. Like, she didn't give him love the way I felt that he should be loved. And he was a great guy, super sweet. Um, and so I came out to hang out with them in Flagstaff, and they got in this huge fight, and they weren't going to be together anymore. And they weren't together when I got up there, anyways. But I had grown and adopted feelings for him. And I wanted to show him what a woman should do for a man and how she should take care of him. And they had had a child together. And so for a year, she moved out. For a year, I was his mom. Andrew was his name. He's my godson. I haven't seen him in years, but I became his mom, and I was taking care of him. And losing him was one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. Not Jeremy, but Andrew. Because I took care of him between before he turned 1 to when after he turned 2. And I was considered his mom. I was engaged to his dad. I was a part of the family, but I wasn't like he was a part of my family the way my family is. Like, came to Thanksgiving, jokes, chuckles, Christmas gifts, stuff like that. When it came to me being a part of his family, his dad wanted me gone. He actually paid to have me leave Flagstaff at one point, um, and go back to Phoenix because of, yeah. Anyways, during that relationship, good guy, everything's good. He started getting connected with his ex again, and now Richard and I hadn't talked since I lived with him. You know what I mean? Like, it had been forever. But I tracked him down somehow. I called my old babysitter who gave me the last number in a book with the name Gil on it, and I called that, got somebody, they gave me another number, called that, got grandparents, gave me another number, got an aunt, called back another day, and there he was. And so it was very surreal that I had actually found him. Um, we had started talking, and um, started making a connection where we wanted to be together, live together, that kind of stuff. At least that's what he was saying to me. And so I sabotaged and let my relationship with Jeremy fall apart. I probably could have been very happy with him had I stayed. But it started falling apart, and I was like, I know who I want to be with. I know what I want, so I have to leave this behind. So we did a mutual breakup. Was very heartbroken about it because I really, really did care about him, really, really did like him. Um, but just Richard had my heart, and I couldn't help it. We had reconnected, and he was the man or the boy I fell in love with when I was a little kid. and never got over. And now that I found him and he was telling me he wanted to have me move into his house with him and all this stuff, my heart went back to him. I ended up leaving Jeremy and being in Phoenix again, and I had actually lost Richard. They moved out of that house, new number, all that stuff. So we had no way to contact each other. And then Facebook happened, MySpace, Facebook, and so we kind of connected that way. But then he went in the army, and he had a girl. I mean, he still wrote me. I think I still have the letters somewhere because I don't think I'd throw them away. But um, he wrote me saying he was going to come visit me for Valentine's Day or my birthday, and just made me really feel like he wanted to be with me. Like he said all the right things and did all the right things. But in the end, he stayed with his girlfriend, and they ended up not staying together. And then it was like every time I was single, he wasn't. Every time he was single, I wasn't. So I don't know if we ever would actually have a relationship because I don't know that the attraction level is there between us physically or not. But one second. Yes. Okay. Smash it. Smash it. Anyways, and then comes Jeremy, the man I married. We met back in 2006. I was his cashier at Walgreens, and he walked in to buy something, and I think it was a lighter or something. Um, but he just kept chit chatting with me, and so he gave me his number. I called him that night. We went and hung out, and then pretty much ever since we've been together. We have split up, broken up, lived apart. I've spent 6 months in New York, split up from him, tried dating other people, tried going on other dates, just didn't work out, came back to Phoenix, tried seeing other people, didn't work out, missed him, ended up going back to him and said, hey, if this is going to happen, we're going to get married. So we got married, and we've been having a rocky relationship ever since we've met. Okay. Anyways, so sorry, my kids in the background making noise. So anyways, we met, we have been together ever since. He cheated on me a few times when we were still dating. Um, I did not. Then after we got married, I did cheat once and I left him and I went and got my own place and all that stuff again. And then we tried dating again and I moved back in. Didn't quite work, so we were just living together, but not together. Taking care of the kids and everything. We have 2 kids that we adopted. Um, and yeah, right now we're kind of in this twisty, turny, curvy part that I don't know where we're going with life because um, we don't seem to get along. We don't seem to be able to have real conversations. And so I'm not sure if we're in this together or are we in this together and alone or what's going on. I'm trying to figure that out. Also, with opening up about being pansexual, um, that does kind of put a lot of question marks in my head. I remember my first crush was this girl named Leah. She was my neighbor. If she watches this, I'm sorry, Leah, but I didn't realize until I got older that you were the first crush I had. Um, she she was the first girl that I thought was pretty and smart and kind, and for some reason I just really wanted to be around her. And now I know that that was a crush. I also crushed on my friend Shannon, my friend Melissa. I think I might have crushed on my friend Amanda. I don't think I ever crushed on my friend Rebecca though. Jordan. I don't think I crushed on Jordan. I think I just wanted to be Jordan. Jordan was a girl that we knew for like 6 months. Um, yeah. So, okay. Those are my guys. That's where I'm at with them. If you have questions, comment below or hit me up or something and I'll explain. Okay. This has been taking forever. It's almost a half an hour. It is a half an hour that I've been chit-chatting with you guys about absolutely nothing except for like just my fucking life. So, okay. Let's see. Oh, let's see, what time is it? Oh, I gotta leave soon. Okay. So let's start with best friend. Best friend Brittany. She is the first one written down. She is the only one that is still 100% real with me. So Brittany and I met in 3rd grade at Heritage, and Shannon and I met 3rd grade at Apollo Baptist Church. So probably a lot of information that I shouldn't be giving out. Anyways, Brittany and I became best friends really young. She moved a lot, I moved a lot, so we had other friends that we made in between our friendship, but we never lost sight of our true friendship. We never tried to do anyone dirty. We never tried to hurt anyone. We were good as friends. I mean, there was a few times where me personally, where I would want to go do something or hang out with my new friends or other friends that I had, and it was a situation where she wasn't comfortable, and it caused a little bit of a rift for a period of time with us. But our friendship never stopped being 100%. I think there was at one point where she felt closer to someone else because I had moved to Flagstaff and we weren't talking as much. So she got closer with someone else that we were friends with. And they became really good friends. And they're still really good friends. That's the beauty of Brittany is she can make friends with anyone pretty much. And she doesn't just become your friend like, hey, you can say the word friend next to my name. She's literally the kind of person that if she calls you a friend, she will do anything for you. She will stand by you. She will listen to you cry. She'll listen to like whatever's going on. She'll try to help in any way she can. She's a very reliable and dependable person. She's amazing. And she will always be my best friend. I don't care. No one compares to this woman. She has just been an upstanding person since I've known her. Never, ever, ever done anything wrong. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to have a friendship that is so strong and real. No matter how many times I fucked up in my own life or made decisions she wasn't okay with, she still stood by my side. She got mad at me and she yelled at me. And she knows that it hurt. She knows I cry. Because it was like having your sister tell you something, you know what I mean? And it just means a lot. Okay. Shannon. Shannon and I were really good friends, but we only really saw each other at church, and so she made a lot of other friends. We got really, really close, and we're best friends at one point. Oh, I hurt my foot so bad. But, oh, hang on. Making faces. Okay. We were like best friends at one point, but she and I just fell different directions. She was really about God and stuff for a long time, and I just wasn't. It wasn't that I was against God or anything. I believed in God and, was trying to figure out the godly way, but everything was just so screwed up in my life. I felt like I couldn't hold to that standard. And I felt like I was the problem in our friendship when it came to like her parents or doing anything. I didn't realize she was living the same life she was living with me, but all the time. I thought I was just like the person she could be free with kind of thing. So as we got older, she turned out to be exactly who she was, which we all make mistakes and have problems and issues. And we had one of those issues in our relationship where there was some deceiving going on, and it has been apologized and forgiven. And so our friendship is better now than what it was, but we're on a better page. And I wish we spoke more because we used to be really close. I used to be really close to a lot of people, and now I'm married, I guess. And it just pushes everything away. Okay, let's go on to the next person. Oh boy. Melissa. I'm going to listen to this because she does pay attention to these videos. But we were really, really good friends when we were in 7th grade, which is, I might have met her prior to that, but in my book, we didn't actually become friends until 7th grade. And at the same time that we became friends with a girl named Amanda. got my words mixed up. And we were like a trio. We all hung out together all the time. It was just like the three of us. We were like the three amigos. Everything was cool. Thing is their parents were a little bit more loose than mine, and I was grounded a lot. So they could pretty much go out, do anything, anywhere, anytime, blah 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 blah. Like, of course, there'd be certain times and situations where it didn't seem true, but that's how it felt to me. And so their relationship became a lot closer than mine did with either of them. Um, this thing had happened. Like, I loved Melissa. You know what I mean? Like, she was like my best friend. I cared about her more than I cared about Amanda. Um, I probably had a small crush on her, but it was just the way our lives were so different at home that we reacted differently outside of the home. And I feel like she was trying to find some kind of home with other people. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so we would have issues that would come between us here and there. Friends do. That's what happens. You know what I mean? But there was a point when the popular kids, and no, we were not a part of the popular kids, um, asked her to hang out with them and to be friends with them, along with Amanda. And I was to be exited out of this situation. It wasn't Amanda who came and told me anything, it was Melissa. And because I cared about her and was her friend first, it hurt so much more. But she told me that she wanted to be friends with the popular kids because she always wanted to be popular, and that we just couldn't be friends unless it was outside of school and no one could know. So we couldn't hang out at school anymore. And this hurt. It still hurts talking about it, but it hurt so bad that I was like, I have been through thick and thin with you, with your parents, with your brothers, with like all this crap with my family, and you would rather spend the rest of your school year being friends with people who put you down and made fun of you than with me, and you want me to sit on a back burner and just be okay with that. And that was that was the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will. Um, I told her, I think I gave her a week or 2 weeks and said, if you don't come back and understand that these people are using you within this amount of time, then even if they, even after they throw you to the wolves or whatever, like, we're not going to be friends anymore, because a friend doesn't do that to another friend. Like, that's some bullshit. But excuse me, I still gave her a timeline. You know what I mean? I still tried to give, because she was still my friend, and I didn't want her to get hurt, but I understood where she was coming from. But it was bullshit. Anyways, after a week, Amanda was no longer friends with them, and her and I kind of worked it out because she shoved me up against the wall. I turned around and punched her in the face. We went to the nurse's office, both got referrals, and ended up walking home together and just talking our shit out. And I think it was because I was like, I don't want anything to do with you guys if you guys are going to say you want nothing to do with me. But it hurt when Melissa was telling all my secrets, and all of a sudden, everything that I had ever given to someone was now being thrown at me and being joked about at me. And it hurt so bad that she would say all of those things to other people just to fit in. And then they did end up tossing her to the side after, I think, a week or two, and she tried apologizing to me with this really really long letter. And I was just so heartbroken. I wasn't ready. It was too soon. I know she had just gotten hurt, and the last thing I wanted was for her to come talk to me about how sorry she was, and how I was right, and how she messed up and all this stuff. I was like, because I wanted to be there for her, but it literally had just happened. It was too soon for me. So I said I didn't want anything to do with the letter. I didn't want to talk to her, and it ended up causing our friendship to fall apart completely. There was another girl who was friends with both of us, and I guess because I wouldn't talk to her, she decided she needed to pick a fight with me on Melissa's behalf. And there was this struggle type thing going on at the park, and then it ended up being taken back to the house with guns and issues and things. And it just should not have happened the way it did. And then it went into high school, and I think we tried here and there to talk and be friends because we had mutual friends. But I hated her for what she had done to me. I hated how she turned a bunch of people against me just because I didn't want to hear what she had to say right then. And so I began to hate her, to be against her. And I mean, it wasn't like that was the only thing she did. She took boyfriends from me. She'd go behind my I mean, there was and I have proof from one of her very best friends that she was the one who broke into my house and stole a bunch of stuff. However, when I talked to her the other day, she completely basically denied that that ever happened. So I don't know what to believe in that aspect, but I know that it's still part of the past and I want to put it in the past and move forward. Um, Melissa is an overall good, sweet person. And I don't think she ever truly intentionally tries to be a negative impact on anyone's life. I think sometimes it just happens because we're both so stuck in our heads that we don't know how to move forward. Same going with Amanda. Amanda got married, and I went to her wedding, and it was beautiful. I thought her husband was an amazing person. Their relationship is not working out, but me and her were really good friends. We never really had any problems or issues. She actually even changed schools to go to school with me because she also started having issues with Melissa. Um, she got herself into a group of whole new friends because she had a car. People are petty like that. And yeah, she ended up being just as snotty, but she was a good person. I know she's a good person overall. All these people are good people. They're not bad people. It's just that we were kids and we were stupid and we were young and our priorities and our care levels were different. Last one on the list is Rebecca. Becca is, oh my god, I love her. I call her Squeakers. She is so funny. We had kind of an out at one point due to miscommunication and trial and error on my part of trying to get to know her and her situation at the time. I'm not going to go into it. That's her business. But she has this beautiful daughter named Rory now, and oh my god, they're just the cutest, sweetest looking freaking people. Like her and her mom are so adorable, and her mom, Becca's mom, is a really, really big part of their lives too. And they go off and they do things, and they're very athletic and energetic, and they take lots of pictures. And just, I admire this woman. This woman has, she went through some rough stuff as a child, and she kept this positivity about her. She's always been like this light. And so even when we have our negative spots, I still think I need to fix this. I need to fix this because she's a great person and a great friend. And I'm hoping I can fix my relationships with a lot of these people if they're still broken in any way. Um, let's move on. Okay. So I obviously didn't say much about Rebecca, but she's squeaky and she's bubbly and she's adorable. You should hear her laugh. It's adorable. But I sound like a lesbian all of a sudden with the way I'm talking about all these girls. Anyways, so that is the relationship line of my life. And like I said, now I'm dealing with the fact that I am openly pansexual. My dad didn't believe in women with women or men with men and things like that. So he had a big problem with it. He also didn't agree with interracial relationships. And I found that out the hard way by bringing home an African American boyfriend in high school. And my dad wanted nothing to do with him, which I thought was totally fucking rude. Um, but my dad was who he was, and so that just went the way it did. Um, yeah, so now my husband and I are dealing with the fact that I'm pansexual and that I like women and that I've never got to have a relationship with a woman. I have a type. Um, but I don't know that that's what I want. I don't know that a relationship with a woman is what I want. I think I want an open relationship where I can be married to my husband and we stay together and we do everything. But like, if I go out and have a good time, I want to be able to go out and have a good time. Like, if I end up making out with some chick, I don't want to get ridiculed for it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's okay. That's just me. But the average marriage doesn't live like that. It's one and one, and that's it. And so to be asking someone to, hey, break your traditional roles so that I can do this and leave the same open ability for him is really hard. It's not something he wants to hear. It's not something he wants. He wants just me. And so right now our relationship is having a struggle because what I want and what he wants are two different things. And we need to find a way to see if our relationship can exist with everything else. So, yeah. So I'm having some relationship issues. There you go. I've had some friendship issues. I've had some things. I think I am good with everyone. Melissa and I just started reconnecting our friendship, and it seems to be going okay. So hopefully the past is the past and the future is the future, and everything goes well. I know that some things aren't going to be seen the same way as the way I see them or saw them, and it has been several years, so I know some information may be a little off. But that is the truth that I have lived with my whole life. The truth that I believe and hold to. So, yeah. If you guys have any advice or anything that you would like to tell me or, offer up so that I can fix any of these relationships or how to make them better or just because I had talked about it, I would really appreciate it. And if you guys would like to, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel because what you're supposed to do. You can tell I'm in one of those moods today. All right, I have to go get some shots in my back so that my back can start working better. So I've got to go. I will talk to you lovelies all later. And Ellie out.